Continue the AGM. I'm going to quickly do a roll call so we can be sure that we have
join the conference.
all the people that we need. Terrence Miller.
Here.
Peter Gray. Charles Posticki. Charlene. Michelle LaPierre.
Yes.
Mike Lawrence.
Here.
Terry O'Brennan. Rhea Pohl.
Yeah, here.
Thank you. Elizabeth Quinn.
Yeah.
Cara Whittam.
Here.
Jessica Anstey.
Here.
Thank you. Nicole Duplessis. Duplessis. No. Heather Finlay.
Here.
Peter.
Has joined the conference.
Thank you, Peter. Brenda Gilchrist.
Yes, here.
Gord McKenzie. Mark Nelson.
Present.
Thank you. Lauren Parker.
Present.
Adrian Smith.
Here.
Jerry Sweet. I'm sure I heard you, Jerry, earlier.
Sue Wilkinson.
Has joined the conference.
Jerry Sweet. Jill Barton.
Here.
David Grant.
Here.
Tina Collins.
Here.
Terry Johnson.
Here.
Sue Walkenden.
Here.
Dr. Burwash.
Here.
Barb Blackwell.
Here.
Gary, I'm not even going to try.
Here.
Thank you. You'll have to teach me. Muriel Burnley.
Here.
Thank you. So we do indeed have a quorum. Therefore, I call the meeting to order. Our first order of business would be approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Shedlick, yeah.
Sue Wilkinson, second.
Thank you. Is there anyone opposed to the agenda?
The one question I had, do we approve the minutes from our part meeting?
No.
No, we haven't finished the
No.
meeting, so the minutes will
Okay.
come after. Although it's a good thought, I thought of it too. Is there anyone opposed to the agenda? And the agenda is carried. We do have a quorum. We have 23 members present. And we will move to acceptance of the financial statements, which I will turn over to Doug Orr.
Thanks, Peggy. That's good. I'm sure they can hear me. Yes, we'll just pick up from where we left off at the last meeting. You should have received and have had now in your hands for the required 21 days, the audited financial statement prepared by KPMG as we presented last time, as well as the the report of the Audit and Finance Committee. I am reticent to go back over it unless there are specific questions. Last time we did present Kirsten from Giles from KPMG spoke to the audited financial statement, indicated she was satisfied with the audit and with the outcome of the audited financial statement. I will not read to save you the evening, will not read our report again, but again, just point out a couple of what I think are germane points to remind you of is that Kirsten did indicate that the auditors were quite happy with the information they received from our financial team, received them in good order. They did emphasize that as a not-for-profit organization, they felt we have adequately identified for purposes of CRA purposes that our reserve funds do meet the criteria for a not-for-profit organization. She did identify the transition from our ACPAC to NAV Dynamics as a significant challenging factor over the recent year, but did highlight the work done by both the executive and financial teams. She specifically mentioned Eva and Rob, and as well as the staff at EC and the work they've done to make the audit successful. We as a committee made 4 recommendations following the auditor's report to us and the audited financial statement. One was, again, that preparing month-end and quarterly financial reports in a timely fashion is of utmost importance and is a primary concern of our team at this time. They're working to produce that. We also felt that we needed to bring to the attention of the board that the Finance and Audit Committee, in collaboration with both executive and administrative teams, need to ensure that they continue revising and updating and creating new as required financial policy documents to direct the function of the organization. That also the executive team, in collaboration with the board of directors and the finance committee, investigate what appear to be possibly declining revenues, determine A, if this is so, and B, if these unanticipated deficiencies can be attributed to something. And finally, that the executive team, in collaboration with the board and the finance committee, continue to refine our tracking and, most importantly, specific designation and allocation of revenues and expenses to ensure that we're reporting things accurately at the level of granularity that's required. So unless people have specific questions about the documents that have now been circulated for the required time, I'll turn that back over to Peggy.
Do I have a motion to accept the financial statements?
You have a motion, Carl, within category A.
Thank you, Cara. Is there a seconder, please?
I'll second it, Sue Ockenden.
Thank you, Sue. Should we do a roll call in favor?
Any
Are there
discussion?
any questions or discussion? I'm not in a hurry.
Peter Gray from the event team. I just wanted to say it has actually been a very useful exercise to go through the line items which we have not had available to us for some years. And I wanted to thank Robert Westgarth for his congeniality and his attention to making sure that all of my questions were asked. That's all.
Thank you, Peter. It's very nice. Any other discussion?
Sorry, Peggy, and this is Cara. I'd like to thank Doug for the clarification and responses that he did send out to the questions he had received after the meeting.
Thank you.
Dave Brent from category C. There was a note made on one of the things that was sent out explaining things, that there was a separate response to the breed sports. I don't think anybody has seen that.
I'll let you speak to that, Liz. I think you sent that out.
It was sent to all the members.
Can they hear you? Can you hear Liz?
We can hear Liz, but we had a breed sport meeting the other day and nobody had received it at that point.
We can resend that, absolutely.
One of the questions that came out of that meeting was, are there parts of the financials that are not included in the audit?
I beg your pardon?
Are there parts of
Are
the
there
financials that are
aspects of
not
the finances that are not included in the audit?
There shouldn't be. Is there a part that you're looking for that you're not finding?
You have to speak up.
Sorry, is there something that you're looking for that isn't in there that specifically? There shouldn't be anything missing from it. It's in line with the previous year's audited statements and the versions before that as well.
So they audited the entire financial statement, Wayne, if that's the question. They tested it against previous years.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
No, not really.
We'll try
I
again.
guess, can anybody else on the committee help me out with what the concern was?
This is Tina. In the response from the Finance Committee, it said that the breed sport questions would be addressed directly to the committee. And those questions have not been forthcoming, those answers.
Well, that's about yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. The information from Liz in response to the questions from category C was sent out to all of the members, category A, category B, category C, on September 26th. That was the document that contained questions to the board from category C. Those were the ones specifically relating to breed sports and saddle seat, as well as some other breed sport questions. I was CC'd on that email from Liz. It went out September 26th. It's called AGM Reply to Category C, breed sport questions. I can resend that to everyone now.
Okay.
Peggy, this is Tina Collins. I just would like for you to confirm for the group. There's been a lot of discussion and I think a little bit of misinformation out there that regardless of the vote on acceptance of the financial statements, this will conclude the AGM and the new board will come into place following the AGM.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions?
Peggy, it's Terrence. I'd just like to make a comment on behalf of Yves Rossier, chair of the Medications Committee, who I spoke with this morning. And his opinion is that he has still not received answers to his questions concerning finances that he thinks should be required and that do not answer the questions he needs to have a clear picture of what has been happening in his committee.
Thank you, Terrence. Done it twice now. I will read you a communication I received from Yves this afternoon. This is quoted. I will put forward that we acknowledge the deposit of this budget, but that we consider the figures with much reservation as some are incomplete, FEI tested, that some items still need clarification, and that we have had too little time to review them and don't have the time to do so. My overall message is that our committee did its work. The program was fully operational in 2016. The number of samples tested increased, and that more money was spent on testing EC samples because more samples are getting more tests. For example, target tests. And that the budget needs to be reformatted, reorganized for 2017 with input from the committee so that the financials can be monitored and can be understood with confidence.
Yes.
So I think that he is willing to move ahead, but he wanted to make these points.
That is absolutely correct. He is willing to move ahead, but he did want to make the point, and he said it very clearly.
Yes, he did. Thank you. Are there any more questions about the financial statements?
Yeah, Peggy, it's Mike Lawrence, just on behalf of Jump. I mean, Robert has been very accommodating, and we hope going forward in November at a meeting, he's going to have a few more of the answers that we still have. We still have a number of concerns, but Doug addressed some of the fact that there's going to be better reporting going forward, because I think Jump was put in an untenable situation of being able to manage the finances the way we generally have without proper financials. So if that's improved going forward, that'll be a major step.
That is entirely our expectation going forward.
Okay.
Any more questions? Then I will call the question. I will call your name and you can vote yea or nay. Terrence?
Accept. Little enthusiasm, but accept.
Thank you. Peter Gray?
Yay.
Charlene? I was not here. Michelle?
Yes.
Thank you. Mike Lawrence?
Yes.
Thank you. Terry O'Brien, not here. Rhea Pohl.
Yes.
Thank you. Elizabeth Quigg.
Yes.
Thank you. Cara Whittam.
Yes.
Thank you. Jessica Anstey.
Yes.
Thank you. Heather Finlay.
Yes.
Thank you. Brenda Gilchrist.
Yes.
Gord McKenzie is not here. Mark Nelson.
Yes.
Thank you. Lauren Parker.
Yes.
Adrian Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. Jerry Sweet. Jill Barton.
Yes, but we'll look forward to that report that we haven't received from Bridgeport.
Thank you, but your vote is yes, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. Tina Collins.
No?
David Brent.
No.
Terry Johnson.
No.
Sue Ockenden.
Yes.
Thank you. Wayne Burwash.
Yes.
Thank you. Barb Blackwell.
Accept.
Gary Gushilia. Is that even close?
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Do you accept or not? I didn't catch your vote, Gary.
Yes.
Thank you. Muriel Burnley.
Here.
Thank you. So out of 23, I have 3 opposed, 20 in favor, carried. We would be happy to entertain any other questions that you may have right now. And
I'll just make one comment as we enter that, Peggy, if I may. It's Doug Orr here. I did just resend that document. It went to Category A, Category B, Category C at equestrian.ca. You should receive that. It should be in your email right now.
Peter?
Has joined the conference.
So this is Liz. I'm wondering if you think you had another question, Category C, that wasn't on that original 2-question thing prior to the last part of the AGM.
On the responses that we received, Liz, it very clearly said that the Bridgeport questions would be answered directly, and that is what we are missing. We did not receive any.
That's the document you should have received
just now.
Yes.
Just now. It should,
Okay.
It should be in your return email right at this moment.
Okay, thank you for that, Doug. I appreciate it.
You bet.
If you don't have any other questions, I'll ask you once more. I thought I'd give you a recap of what we did today. A quick one.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Peggy,
Yes?
this is Cara. They're not connected to the finance, but they are connected to the ingoing, outgoing board, and a press release that Equestrian Canada sent out recently concerning this meeting.
Yes, please ask your question, Cara.
Okay. The first is that you very neatly did a roll call of the categories, but could you tell us of the current board before the new one takes over, who is present?
Certainly. Myself, Peggy Hambley, Doug Orr, Dominique Chagnon, Deanna Phelan. However, she's calling from her cell phone because she's left to catch her plane.
I'm here.
Oh, thank you.
I'm here, Peggy.
Thank you.
Yep.
And Liz Saunders. From the incoming board, we have Craig Collins, Charles Q, Meg Kruger, Rupert May, Robert Mitchell, Carla Robin, and Chris Sorensen.
Okay.
And we have
Thank you.
Gord Peterson.
Don't forget yourself.
I said me. Oh, and me. I'm on the incoming board as well. Sorry.
Yes. All right, thank you for that. My question comes, first of all, the press release that was sent out concerning this particular meeting initially it was said, and at the bottom of this agenda, it says the meeting will not be broadcast. Something was released that it could be seen on Facebook, or will it be simply the outcome of the meeting?
No, as a matter of fact, after some discussion with some people in our industry, we decided that we could stream the audio to the Facebook page without all of the interference that we had last time, which is why we initially didn't wish to have the audio. So it is being streamed to the Facebook page, and you can all go there and listen to it anytime you want to.
Okay, so technically the note at the bottom of the agenda is inaccurate.
Technically, you're correct. Would you like us to have a motion to adjust that as I called for at the beginning of the call?
Well, I don't know about motions. I just am bringing it to everybody's attention that, what
Thank
we
you.
thought
Well,
was not being broadcast is being broadcast.
we will note it in the minutes.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
my last question is, with the recent resignation of 2 of the current board members, will the next 2 who were on the election list that Dominique drew up for us, will they be automatically brought in, or will there be another process to fill those 2 positions?
There are various options, and those options will be up to the new board, which will be discussed, I'm sure, at length tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions?
I have a question about this notification of this meeting, and at the very bottom of it, it says that there's a little John Deere logo, and then it says cut your costs this fall. And when you look at these programs, it says that it's for sport license holders. And there is something a little bit wrong with this, because when Equine Canada was formed, one of the founding principles of it was that everyone had the same benefits regardless of what type of membership they had. And that included benefits through John Deere and Sherwin-Williams and a bunch of other sponsors that were in the program. Yet that stuff seems to be coming out now where it's restricted to sport license holders only, which means that about 70,000 people have lost their benefits.
This is Wayne, is it?
No, it's Gary.
Gary, thank you. I was not aware of that, nor was the rest of the board, so we will look into it and see to it that that is corrected.
Okay, that's good. That's a pretty big deal.
It certainly is. Thank you for pointing it out. If there are no more questions, I will tell you then that today we met from 9 till 4 in a transition day and we shared a very, very large, overwhelming amount of information, both outgoing and incoming board members. Beyond that, we would like to thank the departing members, or board members, for their very hard work. And we apologize for a mistake of the notice of 21 days. We'll see to it that that mistake is not repeated. Beyond that, I guess we can call for an adjournment.
Peggy, just one more thing. It's Gary again, just on this whole John Deere thing that I just brought up. A couple of months ago, there was also a notification about insurance discounts. And once again, it came out specifically saying that it's only available to sport license holders. So whoever is looking into this, can you please do your homework and go through the whole levy system, because these things should be available to everyone,
We
regardless
certainly
of what they
will,
are.
and so it doesn't get lost. Gary, could you please send an email to president@equestrian.ca so that whoever the president is at the end of this evening will be able to follow up on that thoroughly.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Peggy, it's Terrence. Can I just, maybe for purposes of information, bring up something that was sent to me a couple of hours ago by Jennifer Ward. It's an article from the Daily Telegraph in Great Britain, either today or yesterday. But the headline is, "The British Equestrian Federation is being investigated for corruption and bullying." And there's a long article discussing the issues there and the recent departure of their CEO. What I would say that the most pertinent quote in the article, which concludes the article, is from Nick Skelton, Olympic gold medalist in Rio, and I will quote him: "There appears to be a growing trend for non-horsey people to run the sport, and it's a disaster," he said of Salmon, whose background was in business rather than equestrianism. "You can have all the credentials and qualifications in the world, but the bottom line is that those at the helm need to know horses inside out." I'm going to quote. So I think that quote should be printed and handed out to anyone who has something to do with this federation, because I think we've certainly witnessed some disasters.
Are you insinuating, Torchy, that we have bullies in our sport? Still up in the...
No, I'm not. I'm quoting the Daily Telegraph and what they're doing in Great Britain and what the issues are. What I am quoting is what Nick Skelton said.
Well, thank you for your thoughts. We've all heard it, so we are the representatives of the majority, or all, in fact, of this federation. So it will be our duty to go to all of our constituents and spread the word that we don't tolerate that. We all need to understand our sport. Are there any more comments?
Yeah, I have a comment. It's Jill Barton, and Category C, as far as I'm concerned, or perhaps it's just me, did not receive that email regarding the breed sport.
Still hasn't come in.
We'll deal with that.
Yeah,
we'll deal with that right now. It's just that it's obviously
the Category C.
The Category C mail list.
So we'll send it
we'll
to
send
each
that
of you
to you
individually.
as soon as the meeting's over.
Did you get that? We will send that to each of you.
We will send that out to every member immediately following the meeting as an individual email.
Okay, well, it's odd that it hasn't come through either from Liz beforehand or from you, so perhaps there is a glitch somewhere along the line.
Well, perhaps there is.
We'll look into that, thank you.
I just had a suggestion that perhaps each of you, in Category C particularly, could email president@equestrian.ca, and we will email you back with that information at the conclusion of this meeting.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for pointing that out.
Are we able to adjourn this meeting now? Having concluded our agenda, I'd like a motion for adjournment. I don't require a seconder.
Sure, Lydia.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your attendance.
Conference
Thank you.
Thank you.